Welcome back, folks. Anarchy returns to the streets of LA. Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel make a sex tape, and the planes hit the skies. That's all happening at your local movie theaters this weekend, and here to break down what is new in theaters, my good buddy Devin O'Leary of the Weekly Alibi. So, Devin, the first movie I want to talk about, The Purge,
yes.
Anarchy, a sequel to a pretty popular film. Let's take a look. Maybe we'll take a look.
You can't go out there. You know how dangerous it is. This won't bring him back. It won't.
All right, so let's talk about The Purge. This is a sequel to the first one. Set up the premise of this film for us.
Well, last year, Universal had kind of a surprise hit with The Purge. It was a low-budget film, sort of half a horror film and half a really dark political satire, set in the near future where this sort of Tea Party faction takes over the government, and the idea is that they should get off our backs. So once a year, all laws are suspended for 24 hours. You can get to do whatever you want during that 24 hours. Mostly people wander around and kill each other. And that's sort of the setup. The first film was all set in a house. It didn't really show much of the world. It was just this one house where these people were besieged by a gang of people who were trying to kill them. This one takes place sort of on the streets of LA. A young couple, their car breaks down on the night of the Purge. Bad timing. They get stuck out on the streets and they're running for their lives as various gangs of people are roaming the streets trying to kill them, and rich people are buying bodies off the streets to hunt in their special arenas and things like that. All kinds of crazy slasher action. It expands the original story a little bit more. You get several other storylines going on. Still doesn't show you a whole ton of the world, but I think Universal is kind of keyed into something very interesting here that people are kind of interested in. It's a different look for what is sort of a horror film.
It's got sort of a cathartic sense to it, I think. It really sort of expresses things that a lot of people might be feeling but can't act upon.
It's unusual to get that kind of thinking into a horror film. So I think people are excited by this. As I said, it's a little expansion on the first one. Doesn't quite have as many stars as the first one did, but I think if you were a fan of the first one and want to see more of this world, definitely check it out.
Fantastic. All right, well, next up, Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel, who have had a very successful career on camera together, are teaming up for Sex Tape. Let's take a look.
Do you remember the first time your man saw you naked?
All right, so a title like Sex Tape, that's going to get some attention. What is this film about?
Well, it's pretty basic. Jason Segel and Cameron Diaz play a husband and wife who've been married for a long time, and you know their love life isn't quite what it used to be. They've got kids, they've got jobs, they're too busy to do anything on a regular basis. So they decide one night, let's do something crazy. Let's film ourselves having sex, which they do. And then the next morning they decide to erase the tape, but they wind up accidentally sending it to all their friends.
No.
And so lots of craziness ensues where they're trying to get the tape back and hide it, and it's not a really sexy tape. It's them doing a lot of very silly things on camera, and so they're very embarrassed by it. It's just kind of a crazy sort of a chase thing. Two great actors who've had long careers in comedy, and Hollywood sort of loves these R-rated summer comedies.
Yeah, so they seem to be doing really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly as raunchy as you would expect it to be. Not for the kids, but I think some of the adults who are looking for a little bit more of an adult comedy, this is the one.
Up their alley. Now, if you are looking for something for the kids, we got you covered there too. Planes, Fire, and Rescue. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Piston Peak National Park. See the amazing vistas.
All right, so let's talk about this film.
Yeah. Last year, Disney decided they needed to milk a little bit more money out of Pixar, so they made basically a knockoff of Cars, which was Planes. It was kind of a cheaply made film. Pixar did not make it. Dane Cook voiced the main character, Dusty, a crop duster plane who had a dream of becoming an air racer plane. And so he got a crusty old Mentor plane, and he practiced a lot, and he became a big hero. This time around, he can no longer be an air racer because some part he's got is broken. So now he's got another dream. He's going to be a fire rescue plane, and so he gets a crusty old Mentor plane to teach him what to do, and he practices and he becomes a hero. It's pretty formulaic, but I think Disney realized that they needed to put a little more effort into this if they were going to do it again. So the animation is considerably better this time around. It's still not Pixar, but it's a
step up from the original.
It's a step up from the original, which was a bit of a cheap film. I still don't think it's really, the parents are going to love this film. It's really simple. It's really for the kids. But kids love firefighters. They love fire. They love planes. They love machines. So I think they're going to enjoy the film.
Fantastic. All right. Well, for more information on what is new in theaters, for a complete list of reviews, pick up one of these on newsstands now, The Alibi. You can also head over to casa.com, click on the Style tab. We will have links to thealibi.com. Now let's head over to Brittany.